Hey legends, it's been absolute carnage this week going into to Magic Round with a whole bunch of superstars missing from the game, and arguably one of my biggest mistakes this year was holding Nathan Cleary just way too long. So this week, unfortunately, is the week that I have to punt Nathan Cleary, especially considering he's out for, I think it's 6 to 8 weeks. An absolute tragedy for New South Wales, a tragedy for my fantasy team. And of course, we can't forget the guy beside him, Tommy Turbo. He is in my fantasy team as well. And unfortunately, he needs to move on as well. So with all of that in mind, let's get into it. Okay, so first up, let's just have a quick look at the team in terms of some of the changes that I just have to make this week. So let's go through our red dots first, and I've got Maxi Plath, who will be going to the bench this week. Nathan Cleary, well, unfortunately, I've got to punt him out of the team, so he is on the chopping block. Manu, he is going to have to go and sit in the reserves. Fuller, again, reserves for Fuller, and we've got Turbo. He is on the chopping block this week. Now, over on the bench, it's just been announced that that Salmon and his 23 are out this weekend. If I had 4 trades, I would absolutely punt Salmon this week, but he is just going to have to go down, and I'm going to have to hold him this week. And of course, we've got Jesse Arthurs, who unfortunately we are going to have to punt. So a whole bunch of changes that we need to make this week. We've still got some question marks on Kai Pearce-Paul. Is Nicho Hynes going to play? Does Armstrong end up playing? I think there was a bit of an injury cloud over him. Brendan Piakura and his 8 is disgraceful. We probably need to move on from him pretty soon. So as you can see, like a lot of fantasy players this week, I have a whole bunch of changes that we need to make. So here is some of the things that we're thinking, and you can see Cleary out, Arthur's out, and Turbo out. So there are 3 big outs this week, and that gives us nearly $2 million of funds to play with. And this week I'm looking for a balance between money-making potential, but also points. So we're thinking Jacob Carraz coming in, center, wing, fullback flexibility, and still making some decent money. Cooler, I think he will be decent. Again, center, wing, fullback. So both of these guys are going to be handy over the bye period to move up and down between center and wing, fullback. Now that he's got the fullback position from Tommy Turbo, I think he could actually accelerate in terms of his money-making potential. I'm not expecting him to go anywhere near as well as he did last year, but I do expect him to improve over the, say, next 6 or 7 rounds. I think we could see some decent scores from Cooler. And I'm also keen to bring some firepower to the mids. So we've got Jolliffe. He's still probably making a little bit of money, but I'm not expecting a huge amount of money coming in for Jolliffe. He doesn't play round 13, so that's a little bit of a concern for me. So we're also going to have to look into round 12 to make some further adjustments to the pack. I think I'm pretty much covered everywhere else. I just need to get some firepower up front. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the team that's locked in for this weekend. So up top, we've got Jaden Brayley. Now he comes in for Harry Grant. Harry Grant is still on the bench. So, 2 halves, 1 dozen of the other there. Ruben Cotter, amazing for his 57 last week, and we have put the VC on him this week, so hopefully Ruben Cotter can have a blinder, because if Nicho Hynes doesn't play, we are absolutely going to need his score. Unfortunately, I've got to play Sammy Hughes and his 30. He is the starting prop at the Dogs. All we need from him really is big minutes, and hopefully he can nudge towards the 45-50 mark. That would be absolutely amazing. Please do that for me, Sammy Hughes. We've brought in Jolliffe, and what we'd love from him is to build on this 48. Somewhere, greater than 50 would be amazing. Kai Pearce-Paul, been a little bit ordinary in the last couple of weeks for his 32. We definitely want to see him playing 80 plus minutes. There's a little bit of talk about Tyson Frizzell being under a little bit of an injury cloud, so hopefully KPP benefits from Frizzell if unfortunately Frizzell falls over. Angus Crichton, look, we would love to expect another 78 from him, but let's be realistic. Anything for me again greater than 50, I think would be very decent from Angus Crichton. Nico Hines, he's got our big C, so fingers crossed he can actually deliver and play a game this week. That would be amazing. But like I said, if he doesn't, then we've got Ruben Cotter as our backup there. Lockie Galvin, hopefully again he can get us a greater than 50. He's been a little bit quiet in the last couple of weeks. Hasn't really scored any huge points, but definitely has done his job. We've brought in Kula. Now, we're not expecting, big 100+ scores from him, but really keen to see what he can deliver in the fullback position. As a Broncos fan, we definitely want him to go well, but not so well that he beats the Broncos. But we would love somewhere, again, a greater than 50 from him. Iro, I'm not expecting miracles, but, somewhere greater than 30 would be amazing. Karaz, we are hoping for more diamonds than rocks this week, but fingers crossed he can deliver. We are absolutely hoping for a massive bounce back game from Scotty Drinkwater. Again, he's a player that we would really hope to see greater than 60 this week on a dry Suncorp track. He was pretty ordinary last week in an underperforming North Queensland Cowboys team, so fingers crossed they've had their asses kicked and they come out on all cylinders this week and turn on a show. Armstrong still under a little bit of an injury cloud, but if he can just get some consistent scores for us, that would be incredible. Now moving over to the bench, Ethan Strange coming off the bye. Wasn't too bad in round 9. And the plan with Ethan Strange is hold in round 13 and then sell in round 14. So that is our plan for Ethan Strange. McKaylee, look, he is decent if he gets the minutes, and that's the big question mark going into State of Origin. He really is just there to be a bit of a gap filler. Because if you think about it, we're not going to have Ruben Cotter available in round 13, and we're not going to have Jollith available in round 13 either. So at this stage, we're looking to leverage maybe Sam Hughes, McKaylee, and Plath in round 13 to get us through. Because mid, unfortunately, is just a little bit dry in terms of non-State of Origin playing superstars that also play round 13. Now, Fuller is another player that we are looking to play round 13, and again, we will move him on in 14. Salmon being out this week hurts me a little bit, as we were looking to loop Salmon and Piakura. But now with that change, I'm probably just going to have to bring Piakura straight up. But you never know. Last minute switches could see Salmon in. I doubt it though. Salmon for me, look, maybe a hold next week and see what happens in round 13. Not 100% sure there. He could come in for someone like a Stephen Crichton if Crichton is selected for State of Origin, which we expect him to be. And then obviously move him on after round 13 as well. Now, Piakura, that 8 last week is disgraceful. He's now sharing minutes with Jack Gajewski. So I'm not expecting amazing things from Piakura. We would love a greater than 30 score this week. But I think the odds of him actually getting it are probably 50-50. But who knows? We just need him to step up, get hungry, go after the ball, and get some more attacking stats. Now, our final 2 players on this list, unfortunately, are out, which we didn't really anticipate, which is Maxi Plath and Joey Manu. Both of these guys will be available for us in round 13 and will come straight back into the squad. So if I look at things holistically, I reckon we're pretty good for round 13 and this whole center wing fullback spot. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm comfortable with the hooker position for now, but we might look for someone like a Damien Cook, a Reed Marnie, or maybe a JMK at some stage. We'll just see how all of those guys are going. But for now, I'm pretty comfortable with what we have. I do need to increase some firepower in the mid. And we've got a couple of emerging question marks in the edges, thanks to Angus Crichton likely to go for State of Origin, and Kai Pearce-Paul not playing the full 80 at the moment. So there's a couple of little concerns around there. In the halves, I'm probably looking at a Sean Johnson come maybe round 14. The other guy is a Matty Burton, although he seems to be a little bit more super coach relevant than fantasy. And maybe if we're desperate, we could have a look at a KO weeks next week as well. So there we go. Lots to think about as always. That is the team for round 11 Magic Round. If you've liked today's video, you know what to do. Smash that like button for me. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, guys, get involved in the conversation via the comment section down below. Enjoy your Magic Round if you're headed out to the footy. If not, it's going to be an absolute spectacle on the TV. Good luck with your tipping. Good luck with your fantasy or super coach scores this week. And fingers crossed, this is absolutely the end of the carnage, at least for a little while. All right, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.